Thank you so much, Ankur, for this conversation. It's been long overdue, but we're finally here, and I'm very excited to talk with you, learn from you, and also share my experiences. And hope this conversation is helpful for other designers who are thinking about improv, doing improv, or
Absolutely.
improvisers who want to do design or thinking about design. And the other part that I'd like to dig deeper into is active listening. And under active listening, you spoke about uh, how it's not just about what the user is saying, but it's also about what is under the things that the user is saying, sort of subtext of what they are trying
Yeah.
to convey. And in design, we of course do the method of saying, okay, after the interview, you put together knows, feels, does for the user and write
Yes.
down sort of key points for that. And always I've observed, even like initially in my design years during undergrad or even now, there's always, it's, I think it's gotten better where the feels part of it comes more naturally to me now, to be able to look for that. What does that user feel? What is the
Hmm.
subtext
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
we are trying
Hmm.
to achieve?
Hmm.
I'd like to dig deeper into that and maybe hear some real life examples or examples where you've really taken this skill of active listening and applied it to your design research, not in your individual interviews, but also maybe as a team, or really understood how a user feels and understood the subtext of it.
A lot of times, in fact, whenever we are trying to launch a feature, or we're trying new communication, especially when we have new banners, we try to check with users.
Mhm.
And it's very important because they are also playing a role, as I said. At the start, they're playing a role. Uh, if they are taking a pause, if they are saying something, and you have to just observant towards it. Another way that we also try is, I mean, this is pure observational skills and your own listening, but say an easier way to ease into this is when we use something which is, uh, we take a large sheet of paper, and for whichever topic we want to talk about, say for example, we want to talk about grocery today, so it'll be like a cart, it'll be like the product detail page or products, or it'll be 7 or 8 things that we want to talk about. And we'll have these cards which are very different from each other. These are printed cards. And we would ask them to, place those cards in these sections. Some cards would be very metaphorical, like a bird, or colors, or words. And it's in their saying that you really start listening actively, because now they have kind of lowered their guard, because you're not asking questions, so they're not giving you direct answers, but they're actually telling you much more than they would have told you through a direct answer.
But I think sort of slightly moving towards, yes, we understood where can improv techniques be useful in design, but I'd like to slightly shift towards how can that be applied in design as well. But before we jump into that, I feel like there is a bridge between these two places, and with, yes, recognition of improv in design and application of improv in design, I feel like there's a bridge, and the bridge that I see is the role of trust. And in improv, the role of trust is
Mm,
huge. You need to
mm,
trust your player. If you and me are in an improv scene, I need to trust you and you need to trust me. And it goes back to the point you spoke initially about not being judgmental, and not being sort of undermining the players or the users. So, as a design manager, a design research manager right now, where do you see the role of trust and sort of understanding between your cross functional teams or even within your design team? Uh, what is the role that it plays, and how is that sort of influencing your design decisions?
very, very, I think, pertinent question. And in times, especially when we were in COVID times, these questions are very, very. I used to grapple with these questions, and there's a terminology used in improv which is ensemble, not just improv, but say music and other places as well. So an ensemble is a place where you are not a team, but you're an ensemble. So it's just a matter of a difference of a word, but it changes a lot of things about it. It's like poetry versus prose. You don't forget poetry that you read easily if you have read it with understanding of what it means. It's something similar. So it you are connecting on an emotional level. Everybody has everybody's back. We are not competing. We are individually excelling and as a team doing great. So something of that sort. Because in improv, again, Vishnu, you know that if we are coming on stage and I make a mistake, now there's nothing called a mistake, but I fumble or I do something, and my partner makes me look good because of that. I slip and the partner says, "Look at this banana peel," and every I will fall also, and he also falls, and suddenly nobody is looking silly. Uh, Both are looking silly, but it's in a very playful way. It's playful, and suddenly you made your partner look good. And this is the spirit I love to inculcate in my teams. In fact, we do a lot of improv games as well. Sometimes I don't even tell that we are doing improv games because there's this whole thing about improv performance that "Oh, we'll have to go on stage." So maybe not call it improv sometimes. Just do these games as games. So yeah, so is the spirit of that emotional connection between people, which is not there maybe in a normal team, which is very official. So yes, you will still achieve your KRAs and your the things that you need to achieve in a normal team as well. But here you're living life together. There's a difference between living life together, 7, 8 hours, 9 hours, sometimes more together, versus just working together. So I would rather create this. It needs some pushing from the leader, especially. But thankfully, designers are people who are easy to be nudged that way. That's what I've realized as well. Because you can remind them of, remember your jury. In your jury, you were the only designer presenting, but everybody helped you put up your things, and they were just right behind and waiting for what people were saying. I love that part. Somebody else is presenting, but there's a whole team standing there, almost egging them and saying, "Yeah, come on, you can do it." And we are right there. If somebody's poster falls down, somebody will run, paste it. That's the spirit that I'm talking about, Vishnu. It's such a beautiful spirit. That's how you should work. Otherwise, what's the point?
What a beautiful analogy of the jury, Ankur. I've never heard
Yeah,
that one before, and it just
yeah,
when you said jury, there was immediately. It was not too long ago that I was
yeah,
part of juries, but sort of the visuals played in my
yeah,
head.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was like my friend came in. There's always the anticipation of, oh, how was your jury? What were the
Yes,
questions?
yes,
Did you
yes,
answer
yes.
this way? Oh, why did you answer that way? And things like that. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I really like that part of the support, and I think, yeah, something that we had this conversation before as well of ensemble versus team, and that's brilliant, and I want to explore more personally as well. What is the real
Mhm.
difference? What is the real definition difference between an ensemble and a team? Awesome. Thank you so much for this, Ankur. It's been a very interesting, insightful, and sometimes validating conversation to have. And yeah, thank you so much for your time and all your insights. I'm sure this will be helpful. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Vishnu. Lovely talking to you.
Thank you. Yeah.